Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today we are discussing the ending to Songbirds and Snakes because, well, it's a bit of an ambiguous ending, so I thought I might come on here, explain a little bit of what actually happened and why it's an ambiguous ending. Obviously this video will contain spoilers, so if you have not watched Songbirds and Snakes yet, I do suggest you go and do that. This will contain kind of a bit of a mixture of movie and book spoilers as well, so if you haven't read the book either, maybe not the video for you either. What I'm considering the ending and what we're talking about here is essentially everything that happened after Sejanus died and when Snow and Lucy Gray are escaping District 12 out into the woods. At this point, we as an audience know that Snow has killed 3 people, but Lucy Gray only knows about 2, and when Lucy Gray asks, "What do you mean by 3 people? I only know about 2," Snow replies, "I killed my old self so I can come with you." We all know that's not true. He's killed Bobbin from District 8, Mayfair, who was the mayor's daughter, and of course Sejanus, which was really devastating, and I can't believe they'd do that to me. Do that to us. We are a collective in the Hunger Games fandom. The reason Sejanus was caught was because Snow recorded his speech of treason, essentially using a Jabberjay, which was eventually sent to Dr. Gall. That recording was played as he was being hanged, and the reason Snow was escaping with Lucy Gray was because there were guns out there that were implicating him in the same treasonous act, and essentially the one that it killed Mayfair, the mayor's daughter. It isn't until they make it to the lake house that they discover the guns that could potentially clear Coriolanus Snow's name, and Lucy Gray tells him that there will be no loose ends except for her. This is where it kind of gets crazy, and this is where the ending, this is kind of the climax of the movie, and then that's when we get into the ending, and that's when I'm going to explain what happened, right? So what happened was that Lucy Gray went out to get Katniss, which we know is kind of an Easter egg for Katniss Everdeen. What we know from this Easter egg is that eventually Lucy Gray would come back with Katniss, thus the rebellion starting 65 years later. And when Snow says, "But it's still raining," Lucy Gray says, "But I'm not made of sugar." This tells the audience that there is a chance that Lucy Gray could maybe be running away because she's scared of Snow and the fact that he's killed 3 people, he has guns on him, and that he could end up leaving her and betraying her trust. In the books, unlike the movies, we're getting a really psychopathic inner monologue from Snow, and we know at this point that there is no concrete evidence that Lucy Gray was actually doing anything but literally picking Katniss. It is Snow's assumption that she has run away, that she is turning on him, and that she is betraying his trust, because in his mind he needs to be able to justify the fact that he is about to chase after her and potentially kill her. The whole reasoning behind him running after Lucy Gray was just simply, it was just a justification for any bad actions that he needed to justify it in his mind. But we don't know for sure Lucy Gray was actually doing that. It's just the camera angles in this particular movie implied that maybe that's what she was going to do, but she never says it out loud. Whilst we don't get it as explicitly in the movie as we do in the books, we do see some of his kind of justification in his mind and his slow descent into madness when he walks into the woods looking for Lucy Gray because she took so long. Goes, "Lucy Gray, if something's wrong, we can talk about it." And that's when he finds his mother's shawl that he had gifted to Lucy Gray, and there is a poisonous snake in it that bites him, and that's when he when he really goes insane and thinks that Lucy Gray is legitimately trying to hurt him. But we don't know for sure that she might have lost the shawl along the way. She didn't necessarily plant the snake, but it is once again Snow's assumption because he is trying to justify his bad actions. We know from earlier he is trying to justify his actions towards Sejanus, when really it's just Snow. It's just his mind and what he himself thinks. Snow then, during his descent to madness. Gets up and shoots at what he thinks is Lucy Gray running through the woods. But once again, we're not sure, because when he approaches the spot that she fell, Lucy Gray isn't there. So she either escaped or she was injured and managed to crawl away, but her footsteps stop. Her footsteps stop similar to how the ballad, I'm pretty sure it's a ballad or it's a poem, Lucy Gray goes. So essentially we hear earlier Lucy Gray singing, or Rachel Zegler as Lucy Gray singing the Ballad of Lucy Gray, in which she's named after, where the footsteps in the snow stop, and we're left to assume, we're left to make up our own minds on what really happened to Lucy Gray. So the ending of Lucy Gray is very reflective of the ballad, of the poem itself. Snow then goes even crazier and starts shooting at mockingjays as he doesn't know where Lucy Gray went, because he's a psychopath. That's all I can say about that. At this point, we also hear the lyrics, the hanging tree, which we will also hear 65 years later from Katniss Everdeen during her propos, as she's speaking to Snow and is trying to get Peter Millark out of the Capitol. Once again, we're left questioning whether or not the hanging tree was sung by Lucy Gray herself or was a hallucination by Snow. The hanging tree, however, is a song based off of Arlo and Lily, who are the names of those hung at the tree that we see earlier. The first time someone is hung, he killed 3 people in a mining accident, or supposedly did. And then Lily is hung at the same time as Sejanus. But it has a dual meaning. By the time he gets to Lucy Gray, Snow has killed 3 people and he is fleeing with his lover. Mind blown. Okay, that was the most exciting part about the entire story, in my personal opinion. But in my explanation, it does have a dual meaning. So of course, as Snow is going mad, I keep saying mad, he's going insane, right? Lucy Gray is singing it because it is about him. It is about him and his need for power. Instead of choosing fleeing with his lover, he is choosing power. Snow, after going crazy and killing a bunch of mockingjays with his gun, he hides the guns in the lake. And goes back to District 12, to the Peacekeepers base, the military base. We don't hear anything else about Lucy Gray other than at the very ending, which I will get to in a moment, but she disappeared, which is exactly like the Ballad of Lucy Gray. And if you go and read it, or if you listen back to the part in which Lucy Gray is singing it to Snow, it's a mystery. We are left to assume for ourselves what has actually happened. We have to make up our own conclusions. I personally think, when I was reading the book, I did think that she died and she was killed and Snow just went crazy. That's what I thought. And then when I was watching the movie, I think there's a good chance that Lucy Gray did actually go and pick Katniss, and because it is in the point of view of Snow, that her kind of facial expressions, what she was saying, was seemed manipulative because it was from Snow's perspective. So my personal opinion is that Lucy Gray did go and pick Katniss, that she, even though it was too early for Katniss, because it literally was 65 years too early for Katniss, she was out there in the woods, and who Snow thought he was shooting as she was running away, I don't think she was there. I think he had truly gone mad after witnessing Sejanus die, because from in the book, he does in a way regret Sejanus being killed because of him, but he tries to once again justify it in his mind that Sejanus didn't die because of him, because of Snow. The hanging tree was just a mere memory from what he had heard earlier from Lucy Gray singing it. In fact, in the novel, there is a new verse that resonates more with him than anything, and that's why I thought she died, because it was actually her singing, but that new verse isn't in the movie. So it leaves still some questioning there, that whether or not she was actually there. Maybe he made up those lyrics in his mind to better suit who he was as a person. Who knows? But the intention of this scene specifically was to leave it ambiguous, to leave us questioning, was Lucy Gray really there? Did Lucy Gray really bring back Katniss 65 years later? And moving into the official ending is when Snow returns to the capital. He returns to the capital because Dr. Ghoul, as it turns out, was testing him. She wanted to know if he was going to be able to be the next head game maker. So when he starts university or college, university, they call it university in Pan in the capital, he will be learning under Dr. Ghoul. And on his first day, I guess, or he leaves, I think it was his first day at the university, he dresses up in this nice spiffing suit that we see at the end of and we see in Catching Fire. And Tigress is asked what her opinion is, and throughout the entire movie is calling him Corio, but calls him Coriolanus and says that he's just like his father and calls him Coriolanus, because we're seeing a new rift between the cousins, and we'll eventually see Tigress betray him by hiding Katniss and her gang at the end of Mockingjay. One other thing that I saw a lot of people getting confused by was the interaction between Casca Highbottom and Snow. Like I said before, Casca Highbottom mentions that Lucy Gray has disappeared, and that's the last we hear of Lucy Gray, that they don't really know what happened to her. But what is one important thing that I think should have been placed into the movies that was in the books was that Snow is very briefly mentioned by Casca Highbottom that he is the heir to the Plinth fortune. In the books, Snow is literally the heir. He is everything but legally adopted into the Plinth family because of how well he treated Sejanus in his life. Snow eventually had the wealth to bring him power from the Plinth family because he was the heir. Snow takes up a photo of him and Sejanus and shows Casca Highbottom how he will be gifting that to the Plinth family on what would be Sejanus's 19th birthday. Which I think is just so disgusting, Snow. What the hell? Early in the movie, we see that Snow went through Sejanus's things and found morphling in little tubes. That's what those little tube things are. They're morphling. And Casca Highbottom says he took his first shot or whatever of morphling. He tried morphling for the first time when the first tribute fell in the first ever Hunger Games, which is also how we find out that Coriolanus Snow's father, Crassus Snow, was the true founder of the Hunger Games, because Casca Highbottom and Snow's father were best friends, and he took Casca's idea for the Hunger Games and took it to Dr. Ghoul, took the credit, whatnot, and that's why he hates Snow so much, because the Snow family was the reason the Hunger Games exist. And I've heard some people refer to it as like the Snape treatment. I don't know much about Harry Potter, but essentially what I do know is that Snape treated Harry Potter awfully because of his jealousy that his parents got together instead of him with Harry Potter's mum, right? So Casca Highbottom was angry at the Hunger Games starting because Crassus Snow took credit for the Hunger Games and handed it to Dr. Ghoul when it was a drunken assignment that they made. So the morphling Snow had brought back from District 12 from Sejanus's things are left scattered across the desk of Casca Highbottom's desk. I was trying to look for another word to say after desk. Anyway, it's scattered across his desk, and Casca Highbottom takes a little shot of morphling and dies. Why does he die? Because, as Finnick Odair says, his weapon of choice is poison. So in the morphling, Snow put poison, and I assume it was probably rat poisoning in the morphling, which killed Casca Highbottom. And at the very ending, we see Snow approach I don't know, it's like a justice statue. I don't remember what people are calling it. I don't know enough about Romans. I don't know. He approaches the statue in his iconic, I don't want to say iconic, his well-known red suit, because as the movie progressed, the more bloodied his suit became, more bloodied his clothes, more blood was on his hands, thus his suit being deep red by the end of the movie. Hopefully that cleared up anything you guys were wondering at the end of the movie. Maybe take a good rewatch now that you know the ending and it's been explained. So, ambiguous ending for Lucy Gray. Dr. Gall takes Snow under her wing for him to be a future game maker and eventually president. In 65 years, Tigress and Snow begin drifting apart because of who Snow has become after the 10th Hunger Games and visiting District 12. And Casca Highbottom was poisoned by Snow using morphling. It was an amazing movie, and I love how Suzanne Collins was a screenwriter before she was an author, which means that we have amazing book to movie adaptations. And there are 5 movies now that I can rewatch all the time. I'm so excited. Okay. And 4 books to read. I love them. It's my favorite book series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please comment down below. Maybe, let's say, your favorite part of the Songbirds and Snakes movie. What did you guys think of the ambiguous ending? What do you guys think happened to Lucy Gray? I would love to know. Please let me know in the comments down below. I will be responding to all of them that I can. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I will be posting Hunger Games content every Friday. I know today's Wednesday. Usually I post like book and writing vlogs on Wednesdays, but I was too excited to make this video. I will be posting another Hunger Games video this Friday and then every Friday from then on. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I have been CJ. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.